Abshin, greetings once again from Sony. I'm pretty sure most of you have seen this symbol at the back of ambulances. Many people are aware of the fact that its origin is in ancient Kemet with the Rod of Asclepius, as he was named by the Greeks, but his original African name is IMHOTEP, from the 3rd dynasty, and is also well known for designing the first and the oldest pyramid in the world, which is the Step Pyramid of Saqqara. But the missing link in all this explanation is why the serpent. And so the purpose of this video is to explain exactly that. The first fact is that life happens in a spiral. Be it the snake, be it the snail, or even wind itself. And if you grew up in the village like myself, where there's a lot of open spaces and dirt roads, you have seen how the wind moves in a spiral like a tornado. And so you may ask, Musoni, what do spirals and snakes have to do with healing? So what you need to understand is that healing is a restoration of life, and life is electrical, as Dr. Sebi has taught us, that your body is electrical. And so, since life is electrical, it will imitate the electromagnetic field, which moves in a spiral. And guess what? This is why doctors use electricity to revive a person. Even the electromagnetic coils are in a spiral shape for this reason. This shape increases the strength of the electromagnetic field of a given current. And this is why the cobra coils itself up for an electric shock strike, which resembles a lightning strike, which is electricity. And this is why the Sultan of ancient Kemet, aka the Pharaoh, has the cobra on his forehead. Notice that the cobra runs all the way to the back of the spine. As the cobra rises from the bottom of the spine all the way up to the pharaoh's head, which is where the Hindus get their concept of the Kundalini. And we know that the concept of the Kundalini did not come from India to Africa, because the concept is found among the Kung of Southern Africa in the text Boiling Energy by Richard Katz, Community Healing Among the Kalahari Kung. In the text, the author, being a clinical psychologist, requests members of the Kung community, different people, to draw portraits of themselves with the purpose to try and see if there is a psychological difference between healers and ordinary people. And it says here, in the experienced healer, Kina Chow's drawings of himself, the spirals, which he says are his body, dominated by a long spiral, which he says is his spinal cord, are reminiscent of the descriptions of the rapidly boiling and rising Num. So according to the Kung of Southern Africa, healing happens in the form of boiling energy that rises from the bottom of the spine in a form of a spiral, the spine being the spiral, the body being a spiral, which represents electricity, and that electricity is what heals the body as it rises and boils to the top, just like the Kundalini. The Kung are hunter-gatherers, so we know that they did not get this information from the Indians. We know that the spiritual systems of ancient Kemet are way older than Hinduism itself. And we can see in ancient Kemet how the cobra represented the Kundalini, the Indian version of the ancient African spiritual system called the rising Num among the Kung of Southern Africa. And for those that might not know what the Kundalini is, it is the Hindu version of what the Kung of Southern Africa call the rising Num or the boiling Num. that moves in a form of a spiral, as we have shown that a cobra forms a spiral as a form of electricity. And you need electricity to boil water. Even if you use fire, fire is made through electricity, a spark. The difference is, in the Hindu version, they meditate to ignite or activate the Kundalini, whereas the Kum of Southern Africa use a specific dance. So this ended up among the Greeks as the Caduceus and the Rod of Asclepius. The Caduceus being associated with Hermes, who is actually TEHUTI in ancient Kemet. It ended up among the Indians or the Hindus as Kundalini. It also ended up in the Bible, in the book of Numbers, when the Israelites angered Jehovah. He sent snakes among them to bite them and kill them. Then instructed Moses to form a bronze snake and put it on a pole, and whoever looked upon it was healed. So this sums up why the cobra or the snake is used as a symbol of healing. Because the snake best represents, especially the cobra, best represents the movement of electricity in the way that it moves and strikes and forms this coil formation so that it can strengthen its electrical power when it strikes. And when you look at a cobra strike and you look at a lightning strike, there is a striking resemblance. And of course, everybody knows that snakes also go through a very special healing moment during winter when they hibernate. And during their hibernation, it's a time of restoration and healing. And during this period, they shed off their old skin so that the new skin may appear, which is also part of renewal and restoration, which is what healing is all about. It's reinstating your natural energies. And natural energies move in a spiral because life moves in a spiral like electricity. And we know that a snake also represents wisdom, hence it also appears on the forehead of the pharaoh, which is the position of the pineal gland. And obviously wisdom goes hand in hand with healing, because wisdom goes hand in hand with the restoration of life. So restoring life is restoring the spiral energy, and therefore restoring the electricity in the human body. And even when we look at the striking resemblance between how lightning strikes and how a cobra strikes, we notice that electricity is quick. And hence the English word for awakening or reviving someone, the synonym of the word to revive is to quicken. Thank you for listening. Like the video, share it. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe so that you can get more of the wisdom of the ancestors, the whispers of the ancestors. Let the ancestors speak. From your brother Musoni, that's it from me. Peace and African power.